To pick from all the summary books that are there, it's not an easy task because there's just so many fun books that I want to read.
We also have the 25 books you want to read for this year. We have to.
How's that going?
Get through.
Ooh, you have.
It is there.
Yeah, and you have like Malibu Rising.
Okay, you know what? Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
I think this is like a thriller or a mystery or both. It's just kind of the scandalous family vibes in a sense, if you know what I mean.
Charlotte just pointed out that I have a ton of Ellen Hildebrands. Quite frankly, I saved a lot of these just to be able to read in the summer.
I did see some art recently for this book, and seeing the art and just the fandom all gathered together, it's like, oh, this book was so awesome. It makes you feel like, oh, I really want to read that book now.
I do not like to read the synopsis on the back because some of these books really do give away a lot. I'm not like a big surprise person, but like I feel like with my book I have a little more control over that.
No, this is how you get the surprise factor in your life.
In my life. Hey Bookworms! It's Mom, aka Sarah.
And Char.
Welcome back to our channel. So it is June and we are trying to figure out our June TBR.
Yep.
I feel like for me as of late, I haven't been kind of going off of TBR. There's been a month or two where I just kind of, because of the whole reading rut and life.
Life's been
I'm just like, okay, let me just pick this one book. I pick this one book up. But there's just been so much going on in our lives. And I think I explained that in the last video. And technically, some of it's coming to a halt. We've been getting ready for a wedding in the background. My sister's getting married. And her wedding is actually coming up this weekend. And I'm so excited to not only celebrate her, but I'm also kind of excited for just like all the prep parts to be done, because that is so much work and it's so consuming.
Exactly.
And one thing I've realized about myself is that whenever I have like such big things happening, it just like I'm so invested, and I do feel semi kind of stuck.
Yeah.
In wanting to like just carry on with my regular things. It's not like I don't want to or I don't yearn to. It's just hard to, because that kind of stuff takes you away in so many ways.
Exactly, like you want to dedicate your whole time to this one thing kind of to begin with.
It's not even like I don't want to dedicate it. It's just that it's so consuming that I think I've just been drained.
Yeah.
And I haven't even had the same amount of energy to tend to my own crafts and things of that nature is what I mean. So anyways, I'm just excited that that's coming up, and that journey is like, it's here, finally here, as we've just been anticipating it for so long. So anyways, that said, June is I would say is my favorite. I don't know, I would say June is like a favorite reading month for me, just because I really love a lot of books surrounding summery vibes and summery themes. What about you?
Yeah, June.
It may not be the same, because I know we don't even read the same genre.
Exactly. I'm just thinking, because the other day we were watching like a book talk, right? And it's like they were thinking about, oh, like fantasy during fall that season, or like these obviously summer books in summer, but like I feel like I'm the kind of person who could read a summer book during winter. Even if it doesn't fit the vibe, you know. I feel like the outside, the weather doesn't really affect my reading taste too much.
No,
you know?
I hear you on that.
But school is coming to an end this month, and I'm just so happy. I could cry, guys. I just needed.
Right?
I'm so excited to have no more schoolwork, and I can just read. And making this list right now, it's making me so excited, because I know that during this month I'm gonna be free, and then I'm gonna be able to read this. I'm just so excited, you know.
Yeah, and we're also gonna be filming a ton.
Yes.
Because that is just the time that is so much freer for the both of us, and we have a lot more time to be able to make lots of fun videos for you guys. So that being said, because I really enjoy summer, we were gonna use a TBR to pick our books this month, and I was like, no, I want to basically have it in my own hands this month, okay? Just because it's just like the introduction to summer, and there's a lot of fun summery books that I've had on my bookshelf waiting to be read. I'm not saying this is going to be easy, because to pick from all the summary books that are there is not an easy job. It's not an easy task, because there's just so many fun books that I want to read. So yeah, I'm just gonna have to kind of mosey on through, you know, kind of stroll through the bookshelf. There's just a lot of books on there.
And then we also have the books from our TBR cart, like the books we want to read for this year. I think it was the 25 books we want to read for this year. We have to.
How's that going?
Get through. I don't even think I've gotten through a book from that. Actually, I think I've gone through one actually, so
yeah,
it still counts.
It still counts.
But
anyways, I'm gonna take you guys by my shelf to show you some of the books that I do want to know that I want to pick this year, or no, this month.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Not getting enough sleep is not helpful in this area. So yeah, we want to get sleep so we can keep our eyes open, so we can read all the words in the book.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anyways, come on, let's go check out my bookshelf. I'm gonna start by looking at my TBR to see what it is that I have to read. I'm not gonna lie, this is me coming backwards from the past because I've already kind of went ahead and looked on my shelf, and then Charlotte had a grand idea. She's like, I'm starting with my TBR cart, and I'm like, oh, that TBR cart, we started that. It makes so much sense that we should look here before going on our bookshelf, which I already did and picked out a bunch of books, but I'm like, let's check here first to see if any of the books here aligned with some of the things I actually do still want to read this summer. And of course, one of the first things I see is The Wedding People. So I'm showing you this part at first, and then I will show you the other part of the other things that I chose from my bookshelf. So The Wedding People is one that I picked up, and I really want to read this. I hear it's so good, and why not read The Wedding People around the wedding? I am going to a wedding this weekend. I'm going to be in a wedding, and I'm like, this would be ideal. It's a fabulous way to kind of start off the summer, and it's like, because you know, weddings occur in the summer, and it's like the vibe. So there's that. Another one that I wanted to read that I found on here summer-wise is The Hotel Nantucket. Now you'll see later on that I did go ahead and pick one of these off of the shelf because I keep wanting to read this author so bad. I've heard nothing but good things about her, which is why I've thrifted so many of her books. I think the reason why I am drawn towards her book is that while there is like that, is it magical realism in a sense?
Yeah.
I hear that that's a part of the book. There is like a lot of elements that's like mature and realistic, which is what I also like about a good book. And I had glimpsed her production of like an adaptation of one of her books on Netflix, and when I tell you I was hooked, I was all the way hooked. Okay, I was flying to Mars with a one-way ticket. So yeah, I was like, I need to get reading with her books because like I have a bunch of them on my shelf and I've been collecting them for a while. So this is one that I picked out, and you'll see the other one that I also had chosen.
Oh my gosh, you have people with you on vacation there, Mom!
Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I started this all wrong, and like, why wasn't I thinking this when I have a whole TBR that I'm trying to achieve goals, and no words, speechless. Yeah, I wanted to read People We Meet on Vacation because I've gotten this book a while back. Wait a second, I have a thing in there. Okay, I was like, there's no way because I don't remember starting this book ever. But there's a bookmark in there. Yeah, I want to read this. I actually have an Emily Henry section, which I will show you as well. And I was also choosing an Emily Henry book on the other. Okay, it's almost like that what happened that you're about to see should never have happened because I really should have started here. So I'm going to read that one. And then one other one that I really want to give a shot to.
Ooh, you have...
It is there.
Yeah, and you have like Malibu Rising.
Goodness. Okay, you know what? Okay.
Oh.
Okay. As you can see, the TBR cart is a little disorganized. It definitely needs a little help right now because we've been so distracted. A lot of our stuff in this area has just been like, you know, we haven't been living our best life in our book girly era, but we're going to do better because when this wedding stuff is all wrapped up, we are going to want to dedicate more time to this. So anyways, Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Definitely want to read this. Guys, I read Daisy Jones and the Six by this woman. I also read The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and I really love both those books. Daisy Jones, like, amazing. Absolutely ate it up.
You keep recommending it to me.
I keep recommending it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely love it. And I just want to get into this one as well. What'd you say this one was about again?
I don't really know what it's about, but I do know that this whole book takes place in one day.
Oh, I think I remember that. It's, you know, this is what happens when you buy them and you have them on your shelf for so long.
Exactly.
You don't remember. But, and guys, if you remember, one of my biggest, it's not even a pet peeve, but it's the thing that I don't like to do. I do not like to read the synopsis on the back because some of these books really do give away a lot. And sometimes I feel like I don't know, I just like to approach them.
Yeah, you love the surprise.
I do like the surprise. It's so funny because in real life, I'm not like a big surprise
no.
person. But like, I feel like with my book, I have a little more control over that.
No, this is how you get the surprise factor in your life.
In my life, yeah.
Exactly.
So I try not to go too in depth in it, but I heard these books were really, really good. And I just love Taylor Jenkins reads. So yeah, that is 4 that I've chosen. And yeah, you will see the others that I was choosing, but there's only so much time in the month of June. It's Char's birthday, it's also my birthday, it's also my parents' anniversary, it's also Father's Day, it's also a wedding, and it's also just so many other things going on. Yeah, it's just a lot, but we're gonna figure it out, and we're gonna find time to do what we love, because summer is that time. Yeah. Before I begin, I just want to point out this is a book that I'm currently reading and still have not even made like a dent, you know. Okay, yeah, we know that, Sarah. We also started this book as our buddy read together, so there are 3 of us reading this in our book club, basically mother and daughters. Okay, so coming up to this section, this is my little Emily Henry section. A book that I want to read for sure is Happy Place. I read Funny Story by her. Absolutely ate this book up, loved it. I read Beach Read. I can't say I liked it, but I did face some challenges with this one, and I put it down for quite a bit, and then I went back to it and finished it. I wouldn't say it's my favorite. It's not in the same league as Funny Story at all, but Happy Place is the next one that's on my list. So I think I'm going to be choosing this one as one of my reads. Still kind of sticking over here, we have This Summer Will Be Different. Is this the one that comes first, Charlotte? Not the summer after. There's a summer after.
Actually, I don't know. I have no idea which one comes first.
I don't know which one comes first. I'm debating about a bunch of these, but I feel like I have some Abby Jimenez that I want to put kind of before this one, I think. Okay, we got that. And the cover for this is kind of cute. I actually really do like it. But I would have preferred this book in paperback, because I am a paperback girly. I don't hesitate, though, whenever I see a hardcover for a really good price. I will pick it up. Let me know if you're the same.
You have so many Ellen Hillebrands, too.
Yes, that's one. Okay, yeah, come down to this section, because that is a good point. Charlotte just pointed out that I have a ton of Ellen Hildebrands, and that is so true. And quite frankly, I saved a lot of these just to be able to read in the summer, because it just makes the most sense to me. I've got Endless Summer by her. Never heard too much about that, but 5 Star Weekend, I think that was like one of my first ones that I picked up by her. And I did watch one of her series on Netflix, which I originally was going to read the book, but then the series came on and my eye caught it, and then I started watching it and I couldn't stop. So there goes that. I still think the book would be really good. I can't remember what that one was called. What was it called? It's a new one.
It was like 5 Star Weekend or something like that?
I don't think it was a 5 Star Weekend. No.
Oh, no. That's the one you were holding.
Yeah, no, I can't remember what it was called.
I have no idea.
It's the new one. If I can find the title, I'll put it in here for you guys. But I was captivated by her writing and her ability to tell a story. And I've also heard others who read similar books to what I like to read. Absolutely love her. So I feel like I'm definitely throwing in her in the mix. So anyways, my husband just called, which kind of interrupted us for a little bit, but my heart is wanting to pull me towards choosing another one of her book, but I think I should be smart and just start with one first. With these ones that I chose, I still think I want to add like a mystery to it, though I am currently reading The Fury. This is not necessarily like, it's not one I'm reading by myself. It's one that I'm reading together with my daughters. So I still want to choose like a fun mystery in the mix, because I do have a few summary ones as well. So I'm going to choose one of that. But another one that I have in that I want to read is The Neighbor Favor, because I've had that one on my shelf for a long time. So that I know I want to read, and that takes place in the summer. Is The Neighbor Favor over here?
Yes, I think it's on the shelf below.
Favor. Oh, yeah, right here.
Boom.
The Neighbor Favor is right here.
There we go.
Cutesy wootsy. And
you also have, you're saying Abby Jimenez, right?
I was saying Abby Jimenez. I still have a love song for Ricky Wilde that I want to read. Is that summer?
I think that takes place during summer, right?
Right. I also have this random section down here that I kind of have like, they're like books that you will see in the thrift store a lot, like Mary Kay Andrews, as well as Robin Carr. Robin Carr is another one that I want to read. So I'm thinking of choosing a Robin Carr, The Country Guest House. The Country Guest House? Is that giving summer?
It sounds cute.
It sounds cute.
It sounds really cute. Aren't those like mysteries too? Like kind of mystery-ish?
I don't think so.
No? They just like summer?
The Summer That Made Us.
Ooh.
Like, I love a good summery read like that. That just sets the tone. Because growing up, I used to go to the cottage a lot, and this is kind of like what it just looked like. It just, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it's like nostalgic.
That's nice. Yeah. That one, there is some that you just already have a feel for.
Yeah.
That you think that you're gonna get through fast, you know?
I agree, yeah. And then there's this one. This is like Sunflower Ranch. I know these books are like so not like the typical that you see on Book Talk. And this is by Carolyn Brown. Not familiar with her either, but I did find her book. And this one is about like this guy who had a child with this, or he just had like a random, I don't know if it was a fling or if it was like they weren't quite together, and then but the girl ended up getting pregnant, and then he went away in the army and he had no idea, so he came back, and I believe his child was like 16 or something like that. So something along the line. It's one of those marriage tropes.
Exactly.
And I just wanted, as soon as I heard that, I was like, yes, yes, and yes. So this is like another one that I want to read. I'm not going to say that I love the format of this book. I don't love it because, you know, modern day book formats are so much nicer.
Yeah.
And it holds my heart. So coming back to stuff like this is a little daunting, but just the topic of the book makes me want to try. So we're going to try.
I totally understand where Mom's coming from, because those little pocket books are so cute, but they're also just like, they can be so annoying to just read, you know, because of the format and just having to flip the pages. I mean, flip the pages of all books, but I mean like just how small it is, you know?
Some other books that are down here, we have The Big Summer by Jennifer Werner. This is one that we saw a lot at the...
That's when we thrifted, right?
Yeah, I thrifted this. And I really want to read it. I really want to read it. To see if I like it. If I don't like it, then I can let it go. I don't have to use stuff like this to take up my bookshelf, but I really wanted to give it a try. So there's a whole bunch. And then we got Mary Kay Andrews, Summers at the Saint. This is another one that I really wanted to read as well.
I think this one's also kind of relatively new, right?
Yes, yeah. I don't know. These are two older books, not older books, but by authors who've been around for quite some time. And they're definitely not things that you see circulating on Book Talk, but they're definite things that I want to read. So I'm going to give them a go. And I'm going to sort out real quick what it is that I want to choose from this pile, and then I'll show you what I've chosen.
Okay guys, so my plan is to pick some books off of the TBR cart here, you know, because those have to get read at some point, and we're like halfway through the year.
That is true.
So we gotta knock off some of those.
Yeah. Don't be like me and choose more new books off the bookshelf.
And those should have been on the 25, looks like.
And ignore your TBR.
Oh well. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah. Oh wait, or I won't do that. So if you guys have not watched our 25 books for 2025, these are all of the books. And I think there's 24 books on here because I've only read one of them. I did try sectioning them off. Like this up here is kind of like sci-fi, fantasy. This is just fantasy. And then this is just... Actually, this does have fantasy on it. This is kind of supposed to be just the romance section, but... Yeah, I have
Mostly fantasy on here, actually, if you can't tell.
So I already know one big book that I do really want to get to for this month, and it is Reckless.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have I seen this book before? Have you taken this off to read it before?
Actually, I don't think so. I think I've just been like, when I pick it up, I am going to read it, but I'm not going to touch it until I really want to.
Oh, okay.
And the third book, the third book, I can't remember what it's called, like Fearless or something. I think it just recently came out in April. Yeah, I just really want to get through this series to see what is in store. I did prefer 1.5 to book number 1 in this series, and I really want to see those characters come to this series. So if you know, you know. Book 1 on the list. I'm trying to think of like fast-paced books I'm not gonna get bored of. One that I also did want to pick up too was 6 Crimson Cranes. I did see some art recently for this book, and seeing the art and just the fandom all gathered together, like, oh, this book was so awesome. It makes you feel like, oh, I really want to read that book now. So I really do want to read this.
Nice.
Yeah, exactly. So we have 2 big fantasy books on here, and I'm like, I don't know what else I'm gonna really be getting to in this month because school does end halfway through. I still do have 2 weeks left. And those 2 weeks are actually really busy because we're jam-packing stuff. So I don't know how much time we have to reading, so I want to be able to get through most of the books on my TBR. Hopefully. So let's go to the shelf.
You're trying to be realistic is what you're saying.
I'm trying to be realistic. I want to be able to look like, yes, I read what I planned for myself. Which, you know, I probably won't. But I have hope. I have hope. I'm trying. I think we should go over to the shelf now and see what other books I can pick up. Okay, so don't mind the fan. It's so funny how I said I wasn't gonna choose any more big fantasy books, but the one big book that's just like screaming in my mind, I really want to read it, is The Wild Huntress. And this is the fantasy book that I was like, no, I'm not gonna pick any more fantasy books. This is one that I really do want to read. And it's so funny because when I picked this up, I'd actually never heard of this one before. And now suddenly I'm seeing it all over the place, which is just hilarious. And it just sounds so interesting. It kind of gives the Cruel Prince vibes in a sense. Just how there's like fairy and folklore and stuff. So really eager to give this book a try. I don't know why the camera's like glitching out on me. The chair is blocking part of my bookshelf, but that's okay because the real shelf that matters here is this one. The one book that I really have been, oh my goodness. The one book that I really have been saving for summer is We Were Liars. And this is legit just 100% summer vibes, right? And I think this is like a thriller or a mystery or both. It's just kind of like the Scandalous Family vibes in a sense, if you know what I mean. Like they're rich, but there's always so much drama behind the scenes. Really excited to read this. I also have the second one too, Family of Liars, but I don't think I'm gonna get to this one right now. Yeah, I think I'm going to be choosing this one because what else am I saving it for if not for summer? I also have a bunch of cute little romances that I really do want to get to now that I just want to like, you know, read. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. I kind of have my cute little romances on this shelf and this one, and the rest are just kind of like, I guess, all over the place. Down here is kind of just like contemporary, and I think I actually might choose one from here. I think I'm going to be choosing this John Green Paper Towns, which I have had for a little bit and I really did want to read. Oh snap, that's okay. This one, I don't think I've actually read a John Green before. I've seen so many people talk about his books. He's a pretty well-known author, so I really want to try one of his. And then I think I'm going to choose one more. I want to either do Happily Ever Afters or Reggie and Delilah's Year of Falling. Both these books are also by the same author, by Elise Bryant, and they just look so cute. The covers are amazing, and they just, I don't know, they give summer vibes to me. So I think I'm gonna read this one because this is, I think, basically the first one. I don't know if they're connected or not, but this was the one that I always see as like kind of like number one. I don't know. So Happily Ever Afters. And I think that is it. Yeah, I think that's it, because I want to get like a good balance of both fantasy and contemporary romance, you know, so I don't get bored and I can just choose between that mix. Yeah. Now let's show you guys the books that we have all together.
Okay guys, so we took a little pause to go eat a little snack. So if you see crumbs everywhere, just best believe I enjoyed myself. I had some rice cakes and they go everywhere.
They do. Oh my, those things just crumble.
They go everywhere.
They're too good though.
Anyways, we're both gonna show you the pile that we've chosen. And as per usual, just keep in mind that obviously these TBRs that we pick, we try to stick with them. But if you're a mood reader, you know how that goes.
Exactly.
You do your best. That's all you can do. So one of the first ones that I picked is A Neighbor Favor. I got this book, honestly, at the beginning of the time, like meaning when we first started our channel.
Yeah.
It was like right there. Ask me why it's not read yet. Because we're buying more books than we can read. So I've heard this one to be really, really good. Obviously, these two, they're like neighbors, and I don't know, do they do each other a favor?
Perhaps.
Perhaps. But heard it's a really, really good one. Then there's Ellen Hildebrand, The Hotel Nantucket. Now, like I said, I've heard things about this. There was a time on Book Talk when people were talking about it, but it still wasn't like the greatest hype, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
It was just like the few who read it that were circulating. I don't know, some books don't get the same recognition, though I hear they're really good.
Exactly.
So I want to read this one for myself to kind of see, where does it really fit?
Exactly.
Does it deserve more hype, or is the hype that it's getting enough?
Yeah. I think one thing with those books is that if it doesn't have the cutest cartoon cover,
yes,
it won't get found.
They don't get exactly.
They don't get found. People, I feel like sometimes people just boycott the ones with the realistic cover because they think it's just gonna be more boring.
Yes. Yeah.
But meanwhile, it's just like, no, it's just the cover.
Exactly.
So this is why they say don't judge a book by its cover.
Then I also picked out Happy Place by Emily Henry. This is one that I also got basically when it first came out, maybe a month or two, because it wasn't in Indigo at the current moment, or I guess it did come out, and it came out on hardcover, and I was waiting for it to come out on softcover, but it wasn't gonna come out for a whole year. So I think maybe a month or two I just kind of caved and I got it, but
Now we're seeing the soft cover.
Tweedle tweedle. Yeah, still haven't read it yet, but heard it's really good. Honestly, some people that I've heard really good things about, like Taylor Jenkins Reid's, reps this book basically. V.E. Schwab, who I've also heard, Jamie Foxx, we watch her quite a bit too, and she always talks about V.E. Schwab, and because I think she reads a bit of her and she really likes her. So yeah, I see quite a few authors who I've heard about repping this book, and I'm not quite sure, as like I can't really fully give you the synopsis because I really don't even know what this book is fully about, but I did hear that this book wasn't all about happy. It was actually quite sad.
Yeah.
That's what I heard, so I don't know.
Okay, with this book, you want me to, because I remember a part of the synopsis.
Oh, do you? Okay, you can go ahead.
Okay, so I just remember that I think it's like these couple
yes,
is gonna get divorced.
Yes,
but usually they have all their friends go to like their beach house or something,
yeah,
for the summer, and so they just want to pretend like nothing really is
happening
between them, and so they're kind of just trying to pretend that everything's all right for the summer. Yeah, that's all I remember from it.
Thank you, that was a very good way of putting it. So it's so weird because I didn't recall any of it. You know, when in your mind you're just like, I don't know anything, and then you start talking about it, I'm like, oh yeah, actually I know.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, and then there was Malibu Rising. I already kind of spoke a lot about this one, not too much more to say, but very curious though to know how this story is all taking place in one day. I'm just curious. I really want to know, so I'm excited about that. People We Meet on Vacation. I heard that this was like just really, what's the word?
Funny?
It's, yeah, it kind of gives funny story in the sense, like obviously I have not read it, but in terms of what I've been hearing, it's just like the banter back and forth. And if there's one thing I remember from Funny Story, it was that it's one of the first books that I claimed that I would actually reread since I started reading. And you know, because it kind of, I mean, I read it back last summer, so it was one of the very first that I was like, you know what, I think I'd reread this book, and I really enjoyed it. So very excited to explore more books by Emily Henry. I do have quite a few of her books. I just love the colorful dynamics of the books too. It just looks really nice on your girl's library.
You gotta love authors who coordinate their books with spines.
Yeah, right?
Like, yes, they know what the readers want.
But Miss Emily Henry, if you're seeing this, I just want to know, why do you guys like to switch up the sizes of the books? Like why is one short and then the other one like, yeah.
Nice questions.
Okay. And then next, there's The Wedding People, and I feel like this is the one I want to start off with first because I've just heard so much fun stuff about this book. It's supposed to be like funny, and they said deeply satisfying. It's about a woman with nothing to lose, armed with a green dress, some chocolate wine, and coconut. What? Am I even reading what I'm supposed to be reading? I don't even know if I'm reading what I'm supposed to be reading, but anyways, The Wedding People. I'm just trying to be me, doing what I got to do. Some people think that I'm just sitting on top of the world sitting when you have no voice. Okay. So Charlotte, so that was the end of mine. Charlotte's gonna show you what she chose.
And if you can't tell, the camera also rudely cut out on us again. I feel like we say this like a lot through our videos, but our camera gives up on us. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't talk poorly about the camera before it completely shuts down.
Oh my goodness. So well, I don't think it likes us anyway, so I don't think it cares about what we say. First off, it's Reckless. I already spoke about this. I need to read this book. I need to read this series. So this is for sure going on the summer TBR. Or on the June TBR. Okay. Next one is Six Crimson Cranes, and this one I think it's kind of mythology based. That or like I think it's based on another fairy tale-ish story, and it just sounds really interesting. I think a bunch of good reviews on this one, and yeah, I just want to get into it.
Cover is really pretty. I love the cover.
Mom. The next one is The Wild Huntress, and again, I like, as soon as I picked up this book, I really wanted to read it. It just sounds so good. Just the characters, and it's a standalone too. It's a standalone fantasy, which I don't know why, but for me, it's hard to find standalone fantasies because there's always like, oh, there's a second, and there's a third. Series, yeah. It's actually, I think this is a new release as well, so and let me not speak too soon.
I was about to say, I was like, how are you so sure? Don't authors do that?
Oh yeah, well, it came out 2024. So we don't know yet.
You don't.
But again, when I picked this up, I didn't see anyone talking about it. I didn't see it anywhere. And now where am I seeing it? I'm seeing it on Book Outlet. I'm seeing it on people's shelves. I'm like, did you have that before? Because I did not see that on your shelf before. It just suddenly magically appeared there.
Yeah.
But
who's the author of this?
Oh, this is by Emily Lloyd Jones. And she's the author of The Bone Houses, which I have heard of. The title's familiar, but I'm not associating it with anything right now. Okay. But the cover is so interesting. Just like, if you look here, there's like a bird, and then there's like a wolf here. Oh. There's like another wolf, if you actually look.
I did not see any of those things.
So those are my fantasies that I want to read. And then going into just some of the contemporary romance, I have Paper Towns by John Green, and this is one that I thrifted, and it's in such good condition, honestly.
It really is. And the girl on the cover, every time I see her, I want to say it's Emma Watts.
Oh, Emma Watson, right?
Watson. But it's not her.
It's not her.
But I've said so many times, I'm like, it's her.
Yeah. I know their faces, just like even like
it's the eyebrows profile. And the eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They look so much alike.
And I've heard good things about Paper Town.
Right? John Green in general, I haven't read any of his books, but he's really well known.
Yeah. And
I'm like, okay. Everyone keeps talking about just how heartfelt his books are too. I should read this.
If you read it and you like it, then recommend it to me.
Exactly.
And I will give it a shot.
And again, usually I don't prefer people on the cover, but this cover, I actually really love this cover. Yeah. I don't know what it is. Like, their faces are smack dab on there, but I'm like, yeah,
I think it's because it evokes emotions. I don't know. Exactly. Even though his face in the background is giving Animorphs. You know how Animorphs are? Just like those random.
They're just like, and then they morph
into something.
Yeah. I can't really remember much about this. I think he meets this girl and she's like a mystery, and I don't know, I think she might disappear or something. That's all I know. let's get into this.
Okay. Truly, truly?
Truly, truly.
Okay.
Truly. Okay, next one is Happily Ever Afters by Elise Bryant. And again, this cover is so cute.
Very.
So cute. It just gives summer vibes. It's so bright and colorful. And what's so fun about this book is that this girl wants to be a writer, I think. Yeah, and I'd always just find those things so funny about people in books who like to read or people in books who like to write. Again, I haven't really looked too much into these synopsises. I read them once. I know I want to read the book, so why read them again? But yeah, I just feel like it gives summer vibes, so yeah, let's go for it. And then last one, but definitely not least, is We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. Tell me this is not 100% summer. This is 100% summer.
It's 100% $1 too.
It actually was.
When you thrifted that book at the consignment shop, and we were like, "What? $1? $1? No!" And then we went back to the bookstore. I think the next day because we were going book shopping, like at the actual bookstore where books are being sold for $23.99 and up here in Canada. And that book was like, how much does it retail for? It was
15.
Yeah, it was like full-blown price in the store. We're like, wow.
Yeah, exactly. Which is gonna be 17 Canadian.
Yeah, and you got it for $1.
Guys, check out the thrift stores.
It wasn't even at the thrift shop. It was at like the children's consignment shop.
It was actually.
We were like, oh,
yes, yes.
And I was like, how and why is it even here? Because they don't usually do YA books for the most part. But like sometimes they do. That? Yeah. I think it's because they don't know. They don't know.
They're just like, oh, they're books. They're gonna put it here. Yeah. That day, I got like 10 books from that store. Actually. Yeah. It was so good.
Right?
We have a whole thrift compilation for you guys if you guys want to go check that out because there's so many books. So many. That's right. We have a playlist that we like. We like to organize our videos in order, like our thrift book hauls and as well as like the bookish vlogs. We do like to put them in separate vlogs, and then anything else we'll have playlists there, so definitely check it out if you're into particular things. But as in regards to like the actual thrifting part, we have a ton, and we actually have, as I'm looking and glancing over Charlotte's book here, how many books would you say we have there that we have yet to show? I don't even know. At least 50. Yeah, 50. And then I do have a container up there with about 20 new ones that came from the actual bookstore. Yeah. So we have thrift books. And you still have ones up there actually. So okay. So yeah, but they were books that have been bought like throughout like 2024 and such. I just never showed them and I haven't read them yet, so I do have them compiled that and you know, books that continue to be bought throughout 2025. So I do have them in like a stockpile to do an official haul for you guys. It's just, sometimes it just doesn't feel nice putting out a haul back to back to back to back. Exactly, yeah. Because like we want to put substance on the channel as well, and sharing with you our love for books. It's not just about buying the books, but it's about reading and sharing just what's going on in our journey throughout it all too. And the ups and downs, because we're coming out of a reading slump, and it's also nice when you hear other vloggers share the same sentiment in that area, like it's like they are experiencing it too. Yes. Because you know, when we're going through, it's like it's like do I not love books anymore? Exactly, and it's like, no, of course you do. It's just a moment in time, and it's just a season in life where things are just chaotic and just overtaking hobbies. Sometimes hobbies have to get put on the back burner, which is crazy, but as long as you know it's a passion for you and your love, you will just make sure you keep that going. Exactly. Especially when things simmer down, which is kind of what we're approaching right now. Right, exactly. Yeah. Oh, but speaking of V.E. Schwab, I wanted to say, it's funny because I was talking about Jamie Falk and the fact that she has read books by V.E. Schwab, but I didn't realize that The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue is also by V.E. Schwab. So I have not read her, him? Is her? Oh, her, I think. I'm hoping it's her. Yeah. But I haven't read her yet, but I want to read this book because I've heard good things about this book as well. We recently saw Loranda reads too. I think one of them read that book recently, and they were saying that they're like literally the last person to read that book. We're like, no, you're not the last person, don't worry. Yeah. Like, it can feel like that sometimes, especially with like really popular books. It's like, okay, everyone's read this now, but no. You're not the only one.
Because you just gotta read things at your own pace, and you gotta read what you're liking in the moment, what your heart desires in the moment. And yeah, books are not really like that. It's not supposed to be a trend thing. I think it's nice in moments when we know others are reading a book and we're like, oh yeah, we can do it too, and we can read along with them, and the hype is there and the excitement surrounds it, and that's great. But that's not all the time. It's not going to be every single time, because we're all different. Yeah. Anyways, we're gonna give you a quick view of the book stack, and that is it. Ooh.
Oh no, don't fall.
It's been a while since I think we showed you like a traditional book stack.
Exactly. Thumbnail.
Oh my gosh. So that's it, guys. And it's so funny because my stack is always looking more colorful than yours.
It's always more colorful.
Charlotte's
oh
like,
my goodness.
You're like deep woods, and mine is like summer, summer, summer.
Honestly, like we said before, like even our mood reading, it can just be so easy to pick up a book. But I feel like when we have our TBR list for the month, it provides, at least for me, more guideline as to, oh, okay, you can read this or you can read this, instead of just flopping all over the place, because I will do that if I don't have guidelines at all. Yeah. So this will help me through this month with reading.
Exactly. Anyways, guys, we hope you enjoyed today's video.
Don't forget to like, comment, share for more content, and we will see you all in the next one.
Bye. Hey fam. One second. I forgot. It's been a minute. Okay.
Look, Savvy, you have anything to say?
I like your library books.
You like my library books?
Yeah.
And Char's library books?
Yeah.
Where did we buy them?
Indigo's.
Oh, Indigo. And where else? We also thrifted some from the thrift shop.
We bought it in 5 Villages.
Oh. He knows his stuff.
Oh, yes.
All the time, this little boy will come in here and he'd be like, I read these books. And we're like, no you didn't. No you didn't. But you're so cute.
Or he says things like, you don't have a book channel.
Yeah, exactly.
It's my book channel.
It's his.
What books do you read?
I read Minecraft books.
Oh, you do?
You like Minecraft books?
Yeah.
Very nice. What do you learn about? What do you learn in those books?
Minecraft.